Well, that went across the room. Round 300 OA Defense 2311. Pro Elite. We're going to be shooting another 100 rounds here today. Hold on one second. And wanted to tell a personal story. So OA Defense, All-American, manufactured here. Started out in Dayton, Nevada. For all of you that don't know, that's just 50 miles? No, probably more like 70, 80 miles east of Tahoe, Lake Tahoe. And desert, of course, and back in my day, I love that saying. I love that colloquialism. Back in my day, that was some of my stomping grounds, not where I grew up, but another phase in my life where I stayed and lived and had a life, so to speak. So, getting into this journey, I wanted to get a 2011 because, right, they're all the rage. Everybody has them. They're taking over the industry and almost played out, right? Everybody's kind of getting tired of them, especially the ones that are expensive. Just shoot very well, like any of them do, and they are not really for everybody, right? And people that want to shoot well and enjoy the hobby and get into this platform, it's not realistic, right? And let's face it, if I wasn't doing this, I don't know if I would just buy all of these firearms for the heck of it, right? Who am I going to impress? You know, myself in the mirror. Anyway, getting into the 2011 platform with this 2311, I thought that this is going to be great. It's coming from where I used to live and used to be, and I want to support the local company. And one of the guys that I talked with at the local shop mentioned this, and I turned me onto it. I did some research, and I was like, wow, this is really something, and I'm very interested. So I saved up some money and I got it. And to get in onto this platform, the 2011 platform with this 2311, it's just a variation of the 2011s. I wanted it to be special, right? I wanted to make it something special, and that's why I have saved it until now. And I wanted it to be the first one that I shot, the first 2011 platform that I shot. So that's all I'll say about the story, and we won't get into any more details. Just wanted to drop that tidbit for me and what I was doing. Local companies, right? You want to support them. Great innovation, just outstanding looks, and also just everything fits like a glove. The first guest shooter, he and I both were just over the moon with how well it fit, and then when it does shoot, it is incredible, obviously, and I have put rounds down range that are on target and very accurately and efficiently fast, right? So, okay, that's all for the pre-intro. We'll come back for the outro and we'll talk about the shoot today. The one thing I can say, looking at the positive of this entire experience with the OA Defense, is sure makes for good content, and there's not a moment that won't be talked about with this because of my initial impressions, along with other guest shooters, which, starting out for the first 49 rounds, is a guest shooter. She is going to be shooting this, and she'll give her take at the end of her shoot, and then I'll take over and do another 50 or so, up to 300 or whatever. But okay, so that being said, and there's a lot of wind buffer. So sorry, I tried turning the volume down in the edits and get the high pass down, the frequency lower, but you're going to hear some wind buffering. So I do apologize. I'm going to try and bring that down through the parts that don't have any shooting, and then I'll bring up the volume again with the shots that are taken. So again, I do apologize, and they're like I said, through the first shoot there's a significant amount, and then also the second shoot has minimal amount, but I still do apologize. And it's guerrilla style again. When I'm guest shooting, I want to have multiple cameras, but it's just easier for me to do a handheld iPhone, so that's what's going to be for the first 50 or so. If that's too much, I do apologize, and yeah, it's just the nature of the beast, and maybe later on I'll change the format, and we'll get into a little bit more refined versions of it. So, okay, enough of that. Stay for the outro. Enjoy. If I forgot anything, I'll mention it afterwards.
This video is intended for educational and informational purposes only. All firearm handling shows performed by trained individuals in a controlled environment. Always follow the 4 rules of gun safety. Number 1, treat your firearm as if it's loaded. Number 2, never point a firearm at anything you do not intend to destroy. Number 3, keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Number 4, be sure of your target and where beyond it. Comply with all local, state, and federal laws regarding firearms. Do not attempt to replicate any actions seen in this video without proper training and safety measures. The creators assume no liability for misuse or unsafe practices.
All right, this is a guest shooter shooting 50 rounds through the OA Defense 2311 Pro Elite. I'm going to do 50 rounds with HSL ammunition, 115 grain.
Oh, I'm just
Yep, there it goes. Nope, it's out of battery. Nope.
Another one?
Yeah, no, it's yeah, anyway. Nope, out of battery. Out of battery. Failure to eject. Yeah. So,
Dude, that fucking sucked. The recoil on it is really strong, though.
is it really strong?
For me, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, very strong.
Okay.
Yeah, I kept getting the misfeeds. The mag release is really nice.
Okay.
I like that.
Trigger?
Accuracy, what was that?
Trigger?
Trigger's really nice. Trigger pull's really nice. As far as like sight alignment accuracy,
You were spot on.
Yeah,
Like, you were
that's
hitting
really good.
the target. It's crazy.
yeah. I think the only thing that I was having, the issue was, like the recoil is really strong, so me having to adjust like my grip, I was experiencing that,
Okay.
and yeah, the misfeeds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Other than
obviously.
that, I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. Welcome back, you, to the pew, here for the 1,000 round review series of the OA Defense 2311 Pro Elite. This is round 250 with the Pro Elite. I had to get the guest shooter yesterday, shoot through it with some occurrences, let's just say. And I'm going to say that till after I get done shooting the other 50 rounds for my personal take thus far. So today we're going to be shooting 124 grain. Now I don't know if there was a break-in period for this firearm. I didn't look at the website or check into any reviews necessarily, because there isn't a lot. There isn't a lot online, so hopefully mine will become something of a little piece of evidence for what to look for, I suppose, ahead in the firearm itself. So anyway, there's 320 magazines that I'm carrying, so I'm going to be loading up with LAG Customs mag pouch, We the People, and Blackhawk Mag Caddy. We're shooting at normal distances today of 12 humble tree, and then 20 for the orange silhouette. I have my thigh rig from Condor, and I have viewership of people like you, which I appreciate. Thank you so much for being here. Let's get this going. I'm just going to load up. We'll save my comments for after, because it's just 50 rounds. Stand by. Wind is picking up. Hold on. One mag pouch too many. Stand by. Okay. Hopefully it gets that. This thing shoots amazing when it shoots. Start at 20. Oh, right. Don't forget to take your safety off when you get ready to shoot. No, let's do that again. So far, so good. Let's do humble tree. Odd. Failure to feed. 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 Failure to eject. That was better, but still had that failure to eject there. Failure to feed. Failure to feed. Failure to eject. So you know that pretty girl or guy that you see, and let's say you're in high school, right? Back in the day, let's go back in the day when you see that pretty girl, that pretty guy, and you got that high school crush on them, and you're just like, dang, they look so good. And then you have a class with them, and you're like, oh my God. And you've known them for like 2 years, or you've known about them for 2 years. You're like, oh my God, I finally get to meet them. And then they open their mouth, and it's just the most annoying voice, the most immature perspective, just the opposite of what you'd expect when you hear them as you look at them. I'm very bummed. I'm extremely bummed. This is around 300, so I mean 250 going to 300, right? But I think I shot the Blazer 115 through it, so that was a factory load. Maybe not 115, so that's something I'll have to fix and remedy. 124 is not working, so that is, but it's a factory. I'm sorry, it's a reload, so maybe that's the problem. But for $3,200, we're not done. We're not done. We got 700 more rounds to go. And when it shoots, whew, man, it's like that pretty person you see at school. You hear them talk, and you get their you know what they're about, and they're just so immature and juvenile. Now we're all juvenile in high school, but they're just really childish. So then you just watch them on the field. You watch them from afar, and like, damn, that looks good. When it shoots, it's money, and you could take that to the bank. But amidst that shooting, amidst that experience, you get the experience of everything else. We're not done, but and it's not just me, right? It's not just me. The other shooters have had the same problem. The guest shooter that first went through the 100 rounds had the same problem. I'm gonna try 147 grain. I'm gonna try factory loads. Boy, you want to talk about a balloon that deflated? This guy. Oh, it's almost heartbreaking. It's almost heartbreaking. Not only monetarily speaking, right? But you want this company to do good, and they have such a wonderful piece. Please tell me if you have a 2311 by OE dispense. Please tell me that you have a different experience than me, and I am going to be happy, because then I know that I got a lemon. And then I'll call the company and say, hey, can you guys, do a little something, or make some magic work? All right, I'm not going to make this video any longer. We're going to leave it at that. Come back round 400. But just know that it hurts. It really does hurt, because you're building up for these weapons and these firearms to be successful, and you want them to be successful, right? Just like the video game industry right now. I don't know if you all follow that, but back in my day, we had the golden age of video games, and now I don't even mess with it. It's so toxic and has deteriorated so much. That's a separate tangent, but this is what this reminds me of, Okay, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Sorry this was a little downer round, but I still love what I do, and I still appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for being here. Stay for the outro. Don't forget to aim for center mass, pick up your brass, wash your ass, and say hi to your mom for me. Look at that pinch point. I mean, that's just awesome. It's on the gas pedal and my finger holding it, and I'm not resting the rest of my hand on the firearm, and you can hold it. That's awesome. I really, really like that design cue. It's very, very nice to have that there, and you can just hang on to it. So, all right, that was another 100 going through. Guest shooter did well. I think she did awesome, and I think maybe if we got her to hold the firearm a little bit more, she'd feel a less recoil in the firearm. But she did fine, and she did good. It wasn't my prerogative to try and instruct her to hold it tighter. I wanted to just get through the shoot. So in any case, yeah, that analogy I gave at the very end, I feel is accurate, because of that story that I put in the pre-intro. That's why it's such a letdown for me, because again, you want these companies to succeed. Again, this is my isolated experience. It's not everybody's experience, and in fact, I have heard that the firearm outside of me is performing super well, so that's good, and all the other ones too that we'll go through. We'll see how they do, but for the initial experience of a 2011 platform and a firearm out of stomping grounds where I used to live, and the design, everything together, it's such a bummer. I am going to plan on sending it back to OE Defense so that they can hopefully help me out, because they have a limited lifetime warranty on the firearm, which I suppose is my lifetime. Anyway, yeah, so we're going to keep shooting. I'm going to keep going, because it is shootable. Although this last 300 was, depending on who you are, is quite painful, and I know I might have sounded monotonous going failure to feed, but that's what I do here, and this is part of my journey, is I want to shoot through all of it. Now pause. That doesn't mean that if a firearm is catastrophic in the issues that it has, I will try to shoot 1,000 rounds through it. No, I will not do that. But when it's a bolt action semi-automatic pistol that you have to fix each time, I will go through that pain of 1,000 rounds to do that. And yeah, call me crazy, but that's my prerogative. I want to do that for, I guess, for posterity's sake, and to show that I went through the pain to do this, and to show that I was not doing anything, and nor were the other shooters, was not doing anything to make this act a certain way. I've been shooting 124, 115, 147, and I've been using P320 mags, which this is compatible with, and it does shoot well when it does shoot, but there are glaring issues with extractor, the load ramp, feed ramp, something to that regard. So maybe I have to sand it. I'm not going to do anything to it. I want the factory to take it back, have a look at it, test it out, and see what is going on. And it may be one of those stories where, you know, you send it back and they're like, oh, there's nothing wrong with it, here you go. And it's like, yes, there is. Anyway, we'll cross that bridge when it comes time. Not going to get too far into it because we still have 700 rounds more to go. And I hope you will be here for this journey, and I hope OA Defense can answer the question before I even send it back. Maybe they see this video and go, oh yeah, hey, you know what? There was an issue with those elites, the high desert tan. Okay. Like, subscribe, comment, recommend, all that jazz, not in that particular order. Thank you so much. Let me know what you think if you have an OA Defense, and if you're, you know, going through this same process, or you have gone through it, or if you have your thoughts on what I'm going through. Please chime in, let me know. That's what we're here for. This is what I'm doing, and I hope to get this functioning and well-to-do firearm fixed. Catch you at 400. 照顾好自己，注意安全。